Oh yeah!
Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Planet Coaster 2 with Cookie Pirate. Today we are jumping back into the tropical park where we left off. Dale, ahoy, Cookie Pirate! What's going on, man? Alright, here we are loaded in. Okay, so yesterday we added this absolutely beautiful water complex with an indoor and outdoor pool that are connected by this right here. The waterfall, glass panes, water slide outside, 2 water slides inside, and a bunch of chairs and... Whoa, come on. Trying to get into the building here. Gosh. Alright, this is being difficult. And, yeah. 2 nice restaurants, and to jump right back out. Man, this is being really finicky right now. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful complex here. And that is courtesy of Brawlmick, did a fantastic job with it. And today we're going to pick up where we left off and just kind of keep expanding, exploring. I'm actually going to go ahead and change this over. Let's summer today, so it's nice and warm. I'm going to change the light over so we can see a little bit better. So we've got all this area back here to continue developing, also over here. And we also kind of did a little bit of work inside this station here. Romic, what's going on? Aw, shucks, it's worn to nothing. No, you put a lot of effort into that and it really paid off. It's beautiful. Back here we got the tunnel through here. Thursday can't come fast enough. Yeah, I'm eager for it too. The update and the DLC is coming out Thursday. If any of you did not see, I see a wave rider in that. Yes, that is going to be really cool, and it's actually a ride. I have seen a couple people build like just custom, basically wave riders as scenery pieces, but now we're going to have functional ones that people can actually use, which is going to be really neat. That's going to go super well in this park, actually. Be perfect for the surf-themed area, wherever we end up moving this to, eventually. That's really going to be a beautiful area of the park once we kind of get all of the rides surf themed and decorate it and everything like that. I'm thinking about even possibly redoing this building a little bit, but I need to look into that there. Hey Shem, welcome. I really like the Vekoma STC as well. Yeah, yeah, so it's the, I guess what they described it, I'll actually pull it up here in a little bit. Just wanted to get kind of loaded in and situated, but we're going to take a look at the DLC in a few minutes and kind of run through it, and as always, I'll kind of solicit feedback. Kind of what do you all think about it? I'm really looking forward to the update on Thursday. And I was hoping with not a lot of eagerness, but just kind of hoping on the off chance that they would actually go over more detail for the update for update 8 on Thursday. But it doesn't look like they really said anything about it, which, I mean, is fine. This is a little bit of a teaser, and we know we're getting it in a couple days, so we'll see once it hits. And it was really interesting to hear Andrew talk about what his prediction was, that the DLC would come out like close to the release of Update 8 to, you know, release it once people get back in. But I find it interesting that they're releasing both on the exact same day. And I don't think they did that with Update 7 and the Sorcery Pack. I think they came out about a week apart, if I'm not mistaken. Well, tell you what, we've got people here. I'm gonna pull this window up, and I'm gonna pull it up on screen. Allow cookies. Because a cookie pirate, why not? How much is the Toy Pack DLC? I don't know. I did not see pricing information. Okay, so we're going up. The Sorcery Pack I think was $12.99, which is actually a really good price. So if the Toy DLC is about that, I would not pay more than $15 for it, to be honest. I don't think. And the chances are, if you don't get it right away, you wait for the winter sale. I bet you they'll put everything, DLC and the base game, on sale and stuff. So maybe I could pick it up at a discount. But I'd be willing to pay up to like $14.99 for it. Oh, did you all hear that audio clip? Or was that on my end? It was weird just in the background. I'm actually gonna pause. We're not doing anything at the moment. Alright. Hey, Darkhound Doom, how are ya? Alright, so let's go into this. Oh, look at that pool. Okay, so a 30-second teaser, basically. Just like their ridiculous $9.99 for extra PC2 tracks. The Thrill Seeker pack, but that's worth it because you get, well, I say I didn't pay full price for it. But you do get a couple really neat coaster types. Looks like 2000s, so early 90s. I was gonna say like looked more like mid-late 90s to me. So kind of a cross between the two. Hey, Maria. Okay. Turn your park into a playful wonderland. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm guessing most of you have probably looked at it. It's just music. Alright, so we've got the Vekoma New Gen inverting suspended coaster. But it also looks like it could be used as a family coaster that doesn't go upside down. So, you could probably build it either way. I just had a bad idea. Somebody should build one of these and call it T4. Paint it red. ENF. I think this is ENF Miller. Is the real-world counterpart to F&N Thriller Industry Kid Coaster. It's gonna be neat. The high roll is a flat ride that I would never ride, but I've actually seen a few of these. They look fun if you don't mind like spinning and twisting too much, which I do. The wave sim, which I'm really eager to see. That's definitely gonna be one of the things that we'll add into the park. So really just like only one at a time. That's gonna have a super long line, so you'd probably have to set up a short queue for it, but people might be into that. And this airdrop, which is the little like lift thing with the parachutes. That's kind of cool. It looks more like a kid's ride. Okay. And then if you look at the scenery pieces, you've got a couple really neat, yeah, look at all of these. Hey, look at that. New, like, custom letters and numbers and stuff. That's gonna be pretty neat. And you can paint them. Place more than one wave rider. Yeah, you could do that too. Those are the ones that people get launched out of at Carnival's Dale. It's a little bit grim. And then you get like robots, animals, Planet Coaster, or King Coaster, Queen Splash, little decals. Oh, you get the options of chain lift and tire drives on those? I did not know that. That's pretty cool. Stickers. Hey, look, you get traffic lights. Stop sign. He might be able to build some real first aid for when people get hurt. Some other decals, some 3D pieces here. Those are all pretty neat. You can build a cop car. I've seen like 7 videos before AI started making videos. What? Picnic table. I'm wondering where the like the regular trash cans and benches are. Some building pieces all that can be painted and such. You get some wood blocks. Some pretty neat stuff. And then if you look at the blueprints, I'm actually not all that impressed by the blueprints here. Some of them look kind of cool, but some of them just look a little bit gimmicky to me. Yeah, Dale, I think it does. Abru means stop. It's red and it's an octagon, so I figured it was as much as a stop sign. The guest facilities and the shop pieces actually do look pretty cool. I'm guessing that's a small staff facility there. And you get the wooden vehicles, which is neat. And then the entertainer down here, so we get a new entertainer. With Update 8, I hope we're gonna get entertainers for the... oh gosh, for the themes that they added back with the free updates. It'd be really nice to get like a pirate entertainer. So, I don't know, they didn't mention that on the teaser, but it could be something that's coming, but we'll see. My guess is they would, and they would just port the ones that they had in PC1 into this. So they probably haven't highlighted that. Because it's not new, it's just returning. And they really did not reveal a lot of information of what the blueprints and extra stuff that we're getting for those free themes. So we'll see. And yeah, there's that. Let's get into the game. Okay, yeah, look at the line for that. That's pretty neat. We've got... Let's go through our notifications here. Just have to clean a couple facilities. Ooh. Yeah, somebody smashed a bench. Re-spinning flat rides. I rode one of the most, if not the most intense flat rides I've ever done on Saturday. Ooh, what was it? Clear those out. Not really worried about that there.
Well.
I'm -5 but have a Gen Z childhood. Da 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 wow 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 wow. I thought about putting one of these over by the new inverted coaster, but I don't know. Toxicator? I've heard of that. I'm not familiar with it, really. Oh, look at the flag right here. I don't think I noticed that before. That's actually pretty cool. $29 guests today. Yeah, there's really not many people coming in and buying stuff from here. So if money was a factor, we'd probably get rid of that or move it somewhere. But these people are happy because they got a balloon. A waltzer? Not sure if you get them in the States. On Blackpool South Pier called Hellraiser. I would need to look that up. Oh yeah, those are like the Monteleones or something like that. Wait. No, those rotate. Oh gosh, no. That's a no thanks for me. I had to look that up. I'm not doing that. Oh, that's pretty cool. This person here is one of the shark surf balloons. It's pretty neat. May reroute some of this path. We need to widen that going over to the train station. Tell you what, let's actually do that real quick. I'm going to pull the water up. And let's flatten to foundation a bit. Turn that to sampled. And maybe even bring that in just a little bit there. And then let's bring this up so it's not as jagged. Canopy Coaster did a review and he genuinely considers the specific ride to be the most intense flat ride he's been on. Oh no. Yeah, that's a no-go for me. Alright, let's see how that looks. Yeah, it's still a little bit steep, but you know what, it's much better than it was. So I just want to paint back over this here. Hey Minecraft, how are ya? Put the water back in. Uh-oh. Oh, we flooded a little bit of the park. Oh gosh! I mean, it's a couple inches of water on the ground, but oh no! We flooded out the coaster station. Alright, so let me go back over here to my landmark reference here. Ian F. Miller Kiddie Coaster finally, yeah. Okay, the water's back in place where it needs to be. So now we'll come back over here. I wrote it after a day of riding coasters at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and I'm paying dearly for it. Ooh. That sounds a little rough. Alright. Place a few stamps. Oh, that's like a halfway. Yeah, so let's do this. Can clean all of this up over here. Just to make it like a proper plaza of some sort. So we'll clean this path up. And then we'll do a... turn the angle snap off. And we'll try to tie that in. Kind of like that. And actually, maybe we could clean this side up as well. Oh. Alright, so let's do this here. Let's actually just do all of this at once. I'm gonna run an arch. And they tie in the shop fronts. This was a size 6. And we just even that out there. Oh, it's a little bit raised up. All the lives lost. Nah, they're just gonna respawn. Or they're gonna be stuck. No, I can't even pick them. Oh yeah, they're reloading in. Okay. Alright, you people are still standing on the path. You're not lost. Come on. All I see is a tilt-a-whirl. What's so special about that one at Blackpool South Pier? I think it's a bit different than a tilt-a-whirl. Because the seats rotate. It's from what I can tell. Yeah, the configuration of these stations is kind of wonky. I feel like I should really do something more with these stations, but I just don't really care enough / have the motivation to. Go through and clean up some of these trees that are in the way and those floating ones. Those are probably okay there. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's a bit better. It's a cool view of the river rapids right back through here, so I don't want to add too much. Maybe add a couple small palms. Oh, we could potentially do. We'd have to turn that off. Yeah, if we do kind of like that. Oh, the floating trees that defy all logic. Yeah. Well, there's a couple ways that can happen. You place them and then you change the terrain. The trees don't disappear. So, that's one. Or, what can commonly happen is if this is not on, then your trees end up kind of floating based on the elevation of your brush when you paint them. So, the parachutes aren't really in parks anymore, like Great Adventure destroyed theirs. Yeah, I think it's still a cool, like, throwback ride. I wish they would add one of those giant wheels like they had at Hershey Park. I would go bonkers over that. I'd be putting, like, 4 of those in every park. Not really 4, but definitely at least 1. Maybe put a few trees. Alright, so let's do that. Is there enough room? Yeah, there actually might be enough room to place. Probably not, actually. Oh, those look nice right up front there behind the waterfall or something. But I think we could do a little bit something different with this here. Maybe extend the canopy out just a little more. I love that huge Ferris wheel at Hershey. Yeah! I loved it too. Like, I remember it very well. I have fond memories. I may have told this story before, but I went on it with my family. And you could spin those cars. And I grabbed the wheel in the center to spin it, but I didn't want to spin it fast because I get dizzy. And my dad, he's like, if you spin that wheel, you're getting in trouble. I'm like, I'm not going to spin it fast because you could see some people just whipping around like they were on a tilt-a-whirl or something. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. My dad's like, you want it to spin slowly, you're going to let me do it. I'm like, alright, fine. But he was adamant that if I did, I was going to get in a bit of trouble. So we got to actually go into scenery theme. Resort, and are these 2 meter slope? Oh, they're 1 meter. Alright, let's get the 1 meter ones. The problem is with this offset, it's kind of set up as a half grid, which is some of the trouble that I've run into with this here. Ever told you guys about the time I got lost at Magic Kingdom when I was 6? What? We could just do like a hatched roof. Let me grab these 1 meter pieces here. Oh, I put 2 of those down by mistake. Undo 1 of those. Oh, hold on, that's the wrong building type. That's a wooden wall. I wanted the bamboo. Whoops. Were your parents upset they found you again? Oh, that's mean. This would be like an engineering marvel. Security staff was about to steal me, but legit gave me back to my parents. That's funny. Actually, I don't know about that. I'm not really sure how much I like that here. I'm just thinking of a way that we'd be able to mount like some sort of support columns or something. Or do they not even have those for this? Because I'm not even seeing it. Man! Guess we'd have to do these balcony pillars. No, those are concrete. That just doesn't match. Oh, man. Ah, okay. Well, alright, so we'll have to come back and revisit that. Might redo some of these paths and stuff. Looks super rad in my opinion. Well, yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. I'm thinking it looks weird. There's like no support columns or anything. Use a coaster support column. We could do that. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this station right now. Guess you'll have to wait for Lego blocks. Yeah. And you could do that. Let's get these cleaned. These toilets get dirtier faster because there's so many people in the park. Now we can clear all of that out. Yeah, so like this one over here, I'd have to look and see. Okay, yeah, so this part of the queue is actually outside. And then, how did I do the other 2 stations? Well, this is a duplicate of the one before. Which looks kind of sloppy. Hey, Andrew, how are you? Oh, you know what? I know what it was. So this over here, we turned the grid size down. That's exactly what this was because of that piece right there. So we'd actually have to... Alright, so tell you what I'm going to do is select all of these here, and we can shift the other parts here in a bit. And... well, the grid size is... what? Oh, no, that's the height. Okay, so turn it back down to this kind of half meter. Looks like we missed a piece. Okay, now it lines up over that. The only thing is this wall is going to be in the way of the... I briefly seen some info about the new DLC, but didn't see all the details, but it just seems like a DLC if you want to add a kid. Did I already read that? Yeah, I mean, the rides that they're adding, I think, look pretty cool. I'm not overly fond of the scenery pieces. I mean, they're okay. They've got some cool stuff in there for sure. But I think the rides in the entertainer are going to be nice. Hey, band player. Fantastic. Now that my Monday back to work from the holidays is over. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing okay too. I appreciate it. Thank you, band player. Wait, it probably was made by a child. Nerd Chacho was correct. People are either gonna love it or hate it. I am team love. You know what? I'm not gonna agree with you on that. About the love or hate. I'm kind of split. I'm kind of middle of the road about it. The sorcery one is one that I think was just fantastic all around. This one... Never seen a price, but it is active on Steam. Oh wait, is it really? I'll get out a web browser here, hold on. DLC. Oh, you all can't see this because it's the overlay. All it says is release date. It does not currently have a price on Steam. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, you all can't see it. Even though it's on my main screen, I guess the overlay doesn't show up on the broadcast software. Hey, Jimpers, how are you? Alright, so with this offset to here, we'd have to find some, like, half meter, and no, that wouldn't work. Alright, so here's what I think we're gonna do. We can extend this half up and over this so the people waiting in line would have some cover. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, let's do this here. I'm going to grab all of these pieces. I'm not worried about the walls right now, but just the ceiling. Or the roof. Man, and it is tough to see what you selected with these pieces. I think that's all of them. And with that, we're just going to pull it back a touch more. How's that? Yeah, okay. Now we'll grab these wall pieces and shift them. Come on, grab that one. Now we can do a little bit terrain leveling here. Yeah, this in my opinion just doesn't look all that great. Now we'll grab these and shift them. And, actually, I don't know. I'm happy they added the ENF Miller Kitty Coaster as well as the STC. Oh, the PC2 friend request, okay. Now I was like, I was like, what? Let's see. Oh, come on. What? Alright, hold on. I'm gonna cheat. Let's try this. Is that... No, that's not too low for the... Invited you to Franchise Park as well, Cookie. I have not seen. Alright, and then here we can go in. I want to get... Well, they're not wall pieces, they're in the arches. Okay. Well, wait. They don't have the arch extensions. They just... It's the regular arches, which would still look kind of open-ended. But... Oh, we missed a piece there. I mean, if we did that... That's the best thing we're gonna get to support columns, but then there's like the walls that kind of hold it up too. I mean, what do y'all think of that? Does that look acceptable? Probably not great, but... And then we just can't put one of those there because it'd actually be in the way of the train. But it seems like it would work. And if we just need to put a couple extra wall pieces here, raise the elevation of this over here, we could do that. But to kind of parallel it, you'd be basically running these. Can you do the arches every other one so it's more open? I honestly don't like that, and the reason for that is because you still have the columns on each side. I honestly think it looks better filled in that way. Unless you wanted to space it like every 2. Or something like that, you know. Which would kind of look like that. And I'm not fond of that because it also sticks up through the roof a little bit. Or, well, not sticks up through, but it sticks below. Actually, let me see if I... Yep, no, that sticks up. What if I turn that down and raise it so that... Oh, that doesn't look good. What if we did this? I don't know, what do you all think? I really don't know what looks best here. Just kind of stick with the layout that I have on the back, or should we stagger them, or... Interesting. Why does that look foggy underneath the tracks? Huh. You know what I wish they had? Was like half arch pieces to where it would kind of come up like this, and then you could do one on that side. Just for like a wider arch if you have a wider path that goes underneath the building, kind of like this, or just for a wider entrance to your buildings. Alright, tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to grab all of these, and I think we will just fill in the gaps. But I'm going to raise them just up like that so they're underneath the... So now they look like actual arches. They're still visible from inside. Yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you all think. Should we leave them there or just place it at level? At least with that, it's like they're going, like the ceiling beams are going through them. That doesn't work there. We could leave this open by placing a couple of these arches kind of right there. So just finished the Intamin wing coaster for you. I'll send the code for the park. You can get a feel of where to put it. So just the usual for the coaster. Awesome. I will check that out here in just a minute. I had to delete most buildings as it was lagging my game. Ah, that's okay. Alright. Ah, see, no, this here is still, like, interfering with the roof a little bit. Gosh, okay. We'll have to figure that out. But I think that station looks a bit better. Still a bit crowded over on this end. Maybe running the queue out over here would help. But that's a start for that. We'll see if we can do something more with it here. Like also make it so it's not just floating the whole time. Okay. Let me save. You go in on the workshop and get the code. My Aqua Park Mall probably choked your choked your hard drive. Could've. Totally off topic, but if anyone has a PS5, Series X or S, or switch to the Red Dead Redemption Remaster releases tomorrow. That's a tongue twister. Red Dead Redemption Remaster releases. Free if you bought it before, at least digitally, not sure about physical copies. Was playing Foundation today. What a good game it is, at least to me. Alright, so I am going to type the code. Oh, whoa! That is a pretty big, Alright. So let's go in and take a look at this. Hold on, what's going on? Why is it not letting me test it? Ah, there we go. That was bizarre. Alright. Let me go in and get the front bumper. I'm back, I was doing homework. Oh man. Alright, here we go. Look at that view with the moon and the red clouds though. That's actually really neat. Wow! Wow. Pop airtime there. Wow. That's a really cool coaster. Like, I like that a lot. Very nicely done. Look at those stats. That's a crowd pleaser. I think the intensity's a little bit high. Not higher than it should be. But compared to most of the coasters that I build and the ones that I've seen you build, it's kind of on par with my B&M Hyper. And I kind of just wonder if some people might find that too intense. But honestly, from a design and ride perspective, this might be like one of my top 2 or 3 that I've seen from you. Certainly the Aurora B&M Giga is up there. This 777 is good luck, yeah. Like, this just looks super. The tricky thing is going to be fitting it in the park. And I'm going to have to see how to do that. So do you have a code for the coaster, or should I just save it here and kind of load it into the park? 98 miles an hour. 318, so it is surely a Giga. I know you said you were going to use the Giga track. 44 is your average. Great G-forces across the board. Full of airtime, which is really cool. Guacamole with cantina chips. Or am I going to make an entire section in a park with the new DLC and update 8 items? Joined about 30 minutes late if you mentioned it. Probably not the DLC. But I mean, I may play around with it and see. For the update 8 for the festive theme, I mean, unless you all want to have Christmas in the tropical park. Like, go surfing, then go see Santa. I would probably experiment in a new park, or a separate park, with the festive theme. Like, hey, actually you can make this Santa's Sunny Sleigh. That's stupid. Christmas in July, heck yeah. Make a Christmas island. Ooh. That's a good idea. I'm putting Hanukkah in my park, thanks. What? Christmas in the tropics, yeah. Just kidding, you don't need to unless you want to. I would be willing to. Absolutely. Can you build a showcase the ENF Miler? I mean, we could do that. We don't have a kiddie coaster in this park, so actually one of those could fit well. Ooh, excuse me. The Krampus crap. What? Alright, well, we've got that saved. So let me go back into the... If it was festive and tropical, it would be... Guests would be like, wow, the weather's confusing here, though Christmas in New Zealand is all about summer and beaches. Made a holiday-themed park, and each section is a different holiday theme. Maybe a cool idea. That would be a cool idea. Christmas Island would just be millions of crabs, no? Crabs. I love snow crab. Actually, I've had king crab is even better, but it's just, that's a rare. So yeah, I had a couple friends, they ended up moving to Australia. And of course, just like in New Zealand, it's summer at Christmas time there, and they said they went and would spend like Christmas at the beach and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh man. So I went home. This was when I was living in Florida 15 years ago. And I went home to visit my family over Christmas, and they were living up north at the time. And so I took a picture and sent it to my friend and said, hey, Merry Christmas. Guess who has a white Christmas? And he sent a picture back and said, we have a white Christmas too. And it was the white sand on the beach. And he says, and it's 85 degrees, open presents on the beach with my girlfriend and family. I'm like, screw you. Because it was cold. Ooh, okay, this is gonna be tough. It actually does fit around that okay. Snow in an island water park if possible. Not sure if they will allow snow in all biomes. What would be really cool if you can set different weather conditions for different sections of the park. Oh, that would be really cool, actually. Not sure if they will allow snow in all biomes. Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be limited to the type of biome. Rotate the station to the right. Okay. Yeah, so as I'm just looking at it, how the... So, the surf coaster's probably going to get moved, and my plan was to put the RMC back here. Oh, let me turn my caps lock off. Forgot I had it on. Because that would fit there okay. We may have to kind of get creative and... Wait, rotate it. Wait, the station's going to the right. Like that. We may have to wait to place it. There go the fireworks. Well, you had it. Yeah, I think you had it back here. Just do whatever you'd like. I'm gonna find a way to fit that. What if... Oh. No, I don't think it would fit over there because of the terrain. Yeah, we'd have to level all of that out. say we did that right there over that alcove. Kind of where that helix is right there would be pretty neat. I think we're gonna have to do some terrain work with some of this over here. Winter Christmas, such different vibe that I hope to get to see one day. Because they're so used to heat and sun or heat and nasty rainstorms and being stuck inside. Do I have a name for the coaster yet? I had a couple in mind. Tell you what, as much as I don't really want to do this, I think it's going to be time to start modifying this terrain a bit. Uh-oh. Alright, glad to know I was just demoing some trees and my game crashed. I won't lose much with the autosave. That was bizarre. Cookie go by. Alright, let's try this again. Hopefully it doesn't crash me. Wrench came early. Aww. Alright, and I'm going to taper away a lot of this. So we're gonna actually flatten the foundation right along here. Some of these cliff areas could stay. Alright, Minecraft, have a great evening, alright? don't build an EF Miller until I'm back on another stream. Well, you've got 3 or 4 days. And you know, actually, one thing that I thought about that I could do is place the coaster and then just edit the terrain around it. Maybe we'll do that. I just have to make sure that it's angled properly. Alright, so let me go in here, find the wing again. There it is. And let's just say we want to... Let's see right here. I mean, we'll end up moving the RMC, and we can get creative with the terrain around this. I think that actually... Oh, that all fits okay there. So the coaster just takes up a lot of space. We have to build around it, which is fine. We may adjust the railroad. I mean, what do you all think? Place it. Alright, I just opened that up. I'll let y'all take a minute and vote. I gotta step up and take a quick break. So just give me a couple minutes and we'll be back. Okay, we're back. Sorry about the delay there. Alright, so let's see here. We have 2 votes for move it further toward the edge. 1 for leave it as is, and 1 for rotate it a bit. So, if we slide it a little bit further back, and it actually, we could even rotate it as, what in the world? Oh, I'm sorry, I get hiccups here. If we rotate it and then push it back kind of right up over to the mountain edge, then I think that could work. And we could redo some of this. I like having it over the water right here. So I'm gonna advance. First I'm gonna rotate it slightly, so I can just try to get that kind of positioned there. And we can even do a little bit of tunneling. Roughly something like that. Or if we take all of these mountains down, that's another option. And then we don't have to worry about the tunneling. We just kind of taper all of this terrain back, you know? I'm curious, one other option is to put it... No, it's too long. I was gonna say it would be to put it over here, but the station would go all the way back over the entrance. No, but how does that look there? You think that's sufficient? Let me go ahead and end the poll there. Okay. So with that in place, yeah, we might have to start kind of tempering some of this down. We actually could shift it a little bit further back if we get rid of all of the mountains. And I've got I have a name for it that I was thinking about. Just freaking do it. Alright. R.I.P. Colossal Mountains. Sampled. This will give us some opportunities to do some other stuff in this area of the park, expand the jungle out a little bit. Maybe we could build a little bit of terrain around and kind of above the hills and stuff. I think if we just taper enough of it back, kind of like that. Alright, and here's my idea for the name of the coaster. What do you all think about trade winds? Give it like a blue and white theme. Trade. What's going on with this piece right here? Oh, it's a rock! Because my thought is the trade winds blowing over the ocean are strong. And the coaster goes fast, up in the air a lot, airtime. All tons of that stuff. Thought it was a glitch, but it was just a rock. Yeah. Yeah. Tradewinds sounds like a fire name. Shall we go with that? Alright, Tradewinds it is. Okay. Now, with this, I want to start planning the rest of the park, because this takes up a lot of land. However, it's relatively narrow, so we have room to build around it. We still have room out over here. We can redo stuff over here. We've got the center of the park to redo. And we've got the back. So, keep in mind that my idea was originally to turn this into like a jungle-themed area. and then we would do like a surf area, and I still plan on building a mountain kind of up in the middle of the map as kind of your centerpiece for the park, so to speak. So I'm going to open another poll. Give me some ideas. Actually, no, I'm not gonna. I'd run out of options on that. Dale, 4 wins casino next to the Four Seasons. I think we'll need to finish out the terrain. I mean, we could actually still kind of keep the mountain style in the back, but it makes no sense, in my opinion, to keep the surf coaster here. So, I definitely want it in the park. I think we're going to redo the queue in the building a little bit. But tell me we could do the surf coaster in the corner. We'd have to move this and the train station. Or we could do it in this corner. Or we could do it in the very center. So I'll open that first. That's what I'll do. And we can move the Mamba coaster kind of around that. Ooh. That water's getting a little bit murky. Ah, wow, okay. I don't remember disconnecting any of that. Let's fix that real quick. Even though we're probably gonna move it. Alright, so 2 votes for the back corner. So basically, we'd be picking it up. We'd have to move the train station. And we can pipe the terrain up over this. And have the surf coaster up front. The train station would have to move. This would have to move. But this whole area over here could be kind of cut off as like a surf theme. And we could even extend the water out over this way a little bit if we wanted to. So that would be my plan there. Alright, while we're thinking about that, I'm going to go ahead and... definitely Skyrush colors. Okay. So let's do... medium blue, maybe? For the rails? Name the coaster the super cool and awesome Intamin wing coaster that I had Jimpers make me. It would not fit. you would reach the character limit. Or we could do that. And I know the supports are turned off, but maybe we go with a really light gray. Could change that a bit. Make a sign out of 500% scale coaster font letters. What? Heading off for tonight. Have a great rest of the stream. See you next time. Alright, Bromik, thanks so much for hanging out. Have a great rest of the evening. We'll see ya. Search up coaster in the scenery menu and choose the letters. Alright, we got one vote for front center. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so this whole complex would have to get moved. The train station would have to get moved. That would be quite a lot to do to get that to work, but it's definitely doable. We could even, if we temper that back a little bit. We could actually even move it just a little bit more if we kind of cut that cove back. Really maximize the space around it. Alright, didn't fall for that trick that time. It was a rock. It's a bug, it's a glitch, no, it's a rock. Yeah. Alright, we'll redo that here. That actually looks like it would work. And we'll have more room over here to do stuff with. Okay. Oh. Out. Band player, that's right. Out. Oh yeah, so that railroad will have to be moved for sure. Which, I mean, we're going to have to move it, relocate the station anyway, so. Okay. So, if we put the surf coaster in the back, kind of here, instead of in the front, maybe we could put some other sort of coaster up in the front as a centerpiece, so to speak. And I'm thinking maybe this corner back here would be a good area for the water park. We could move that over there and then build an outdoor water park section or something like that. Maybe bringing this in a bit, because maybe we can actually reroute some of these paths. We build out this way, route the path back. Maybe into there or something. We'd have to see. Alright, in the meantime, I'm content to let those run. And let's just think about how I want to set this up. Maybe we can look at some other stuff. Oh, look at all these! I forgot we didn't tear those up. This is going to require something really elaborate, because this is probably going to end up being the premier ride in the park. So, I think a ride like this has to have a really nice building with a ton of amenities and stuff. Definitely a modular souvenir shop, maybe a restaurant, maybe a gift shop. Well, just, well, we have that in the modular. Maybe just some food shops, I should say. Kind of like we did over at the, over here at the Mako station. Like down there. You know, if we wanted to build out this way, kind of for a temporary basis, we could do that. And then get the path out here and connect it, but that's going to be a pretty elaborate amount of work for the time being. So I think we'll level this out and kind of smooth it. We can leave some of this here, especially for the jungle and the mine train and stuff. Are you waiting for the Toy Story 3 DLC to start working on your entrance to jail? It's just not as much of a priority at the moment, but no, not necessarily. I can see someone building a toy-themed park with the DLC. Well, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's kind of the point of it. Given that it's like toy box themed or something like that. Seems like what they'd be going for. So we'll build a nice mountain kind of back here. Temper some of that over here as well. Kind of do what we had and just shift it over. We'll smooth this out. Turn that more into the jungle sort of stuff. So trade winds, the term trade winds, blow from the ocean onto the shore. So my thought would be this kind of goes over like mountains, beach, coastline. The Bob Ross of terrain, ladies and gentlemen, Cookie Pirate standing ovation. Thank you, Dale. Haha. And we'll have more fine-tuning to do with it, but for the meantime, I'm not going to mess too much with the terrain over here. Those are nice little fun mountains that have happy thoughts at night. Oh my goodness. Alright. I think we're going to have to do the railroad first. Alright, as much as I don't really want to do this, I think it's going to be time to shut this down. And we'll tear that up. We'll have to move all of these. The path with the solar panels and stuff. And my thought would be extend this, kind of this corner, like this would become a beach surf-themed area, because Tradewinds kind of fits that. They cry when the snow melts off the peaks of these happy little mountains. Okay, I'm done. Oh man, what would I do without all y'all? Now, you know what? We're going to reopen it to keep the guests happy. I think we'll start working on that. But basically, we'll separate... Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the water up. And we're going to merge... the terrain over here. I see fake toy mountain set in the future. Alright, we're gonna fill this all in right now. Kind of to tie this into a large area. Maybe we make this a little cove over here, but it's kind of close to the edge of the map. So I don't know, we might not. We might do that somewhere else. And then what we'll probably do is end up breaking this off somewhere. Maybe the train station gets moved. Just see how long the segments are. So this is a dumb question, but do you think when you use the flattening tool, do you think there's an empty ball of space underneath? Wouldn't you want to use the pull tool to not have that happen? It depends on the extent that you're using it. So, as you could see, to fill in this here, I did have to use the pull tool. But if we push this back in, no. It's all basically hold level. Because if you brush over it enough, it will flatten the terrain and fill in the gaps. With bigger areas, like if you did that right here, and I'll demonstrate it. If we, let's say we did that to flatten it. Like just doing this to mess around a little bit. You can tell there's a gap, there's an arch. So you use it kind of strategically depending on what effect you're trying to get. So if you want to do gaps, then use the flat tool just to kind of cross the terrain over. But if you're trying to fill something in, it's totally fine. Let me undo that. Turn that back to how it was. Ooh, excuse me. I'm sorry about that, folks. Ooh. Gotcha, yeah. Yeah, so you can use it strategically based on what you're going for. Okay. Now we would want to split the water over here probably. So let's actually do that. So I'm going to turn the size down just a little bit. See, like right here, pushing it actually has indented that. And we can fill that back. He's on the sauce again. I don't know what you're talking about. So let's just say hypothetically something like this. And we come back and add the water. This is kind of my reference point. Right there. And now we've got all of that merged. We'll probably run the water back through here. Kind of to segment that out. But this will get filled in as part of the jungle. So we'll just run probably a small creek out that way. But now, like, we've got that there. Didn't get him in the act. Who did it? Was it some of these people walking away? It was her. This place is a dump. Someone's gone on a rampage. Is it not caught on camera? Man, I don't know who did it for sure. Well, can't really kick anybody out if I didn't see it. Prime wave has hit Bromix. Beautiful, safe getaway, right? Oh, wait, that. I thought we just had somebody going over there. Alright, let's get that fixed. Alright, tell you what, for now I think we are going to go ahead and run a path out over here. What? And we're going to start tearing some of this up. I want to save these blueprints for these pools. Why won't it let me save the blueprint? Get rails on that thing for safety? Yeah. Oh, I might actually have to select. Those are saved. Okay, so we have the waterfall. Now we save as blueprint. So we've got that. We could do the same with this. Select nature too. Oh well. Well, I mean we could, but it's easy enough to go back through and just place that manually. Alright, and we've got those there. And then the next thing would be to actually like demo them. But I'm not going to do that yet. Oh, we'll have to do the lazy river. We'll have to do the terrain around it too. That's going to be... Alright, it's the same thing here. That's not what someone who downloads blueprints wants, and it's false advertising. I'm just giving you a hard time. Fraud! Alright, we've got those in. What a fantastic and gorgeous lazy river. Yeah, just one of your favorite things here. Alright, we have the water complex saved. So we're good there. It's gonna be time to just start tearing these up. This is gonna be tough. These are like some of the last original things I have in the park. I don't want to tear the fireworks up yet. Greatest and best thing I've ever seen yet. It's huge. All these people are stuck. Well, I'll give them a shortcut. This is going to hurt watching, so I'm signing off. I mean, I can wait. I might do some of that off stream and kind of get it set back up, but this will all be to kind of prep a new entrance area. And we can start adding water stuff. Just kidding. Oh, you trickster. Oh, and that's starting to cut into the pork rating a bit. Alright. So with that shut down, do we need to lower this? Yeah. I think we just took a power generator out. Disney World would suck if they didn't make any revamps and renovations. Yep. Yeah, you're right about that. It's not like it's a challenge map or a franchise with fixed income. Yeah, that's a good point. That'd be really tough to do if it was. Alright, I want to keep this open, so we may reconnect it somewhere. Maybe like a bridge going over to here or something. should we do a park as a cookie community? That could be a lot of fun, actually. So let's build that out here. And then what we can do is just actually cut this off here. And then start tearing this up. Oh, been asking Cookie for almost a year now to collab. Alright, and what I'm gonna do is pause, and we're gonna have to tear this up back that way. And we could really... We're just gonna level this whole thing. Man, this feels really weird. Unless we want Cookie as an owner. I mean, if you wanted to do that, I could set something up at some point. We'll probably wait to do that until after the DLC and Update 8 come out. Alright. Uh-oh. Oh, we just tore up like almost all the power to everything in this park. Oh my gosh. Like, what am I doing right now? Like, this really feels... Oh, we just got rid of the fireworks. Yeah, let me make sure I don't get rid of those. Okay, now that can all go. My internet, no. It's like plastic surgery. I'm gonna be going to therapy after this stream. How did all of this lose power, though? My gosh. Like, something looks horribly wrong right here. You don't need any power, you have water for days, they can swim, it'll be fine. Alright. With that, let me go into... see where the gaps... It may have demoed some underground lines. Yeah, these got severed. Those actually all have power. So we just need to run some lines, I think. Yeah. Okay. That's everything. All these people got relocated to the very front of the park. You think this is therapy? I don't know about that. Alright, so I'm going to go in and manually select the fireworks. We may redo that anyway. And I'm going to put these somewhere where they won't get, like, accidentally deleted. So maybe, like, right there. Just have them grouped. Yeah, right next to all the power supplies, right? That's a hazard. Hold that water. Alright. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Internet restored. I can now watch all the tragic moment when Cookie relocated all his guests for re-entry. What is that there? If that goes away, it does absolutely nothing. Okay. So this is kind of going to be like the mountain for the centerpiece of the park. Oh, you know, on all of this path here, we will need to add, without a doubt, some benches and trash cans, or we're going to end up with a massive litter problem. Bob Ross of terrain work. I aspire to be like him one day. And you know, since we have so many blueprints, I'd even just thought of starting a new map and just moving everything onto the new one. And we'd be back at like day one. I may do that, not on stream. Like, I love streaming for you all and stuff, but I've actually thought a little bit about trying to spend some time in-game, off-stream. Rails for safety. Ah, they don't need no rails right now. Alright, now some litter bins. Gonna need a few of those. Alright, there we go. That should help. At least over the lake. Yeah, this isn't going to be the permanent path. Do I get nervous sometimes? What do you mean? Oh, hold on. You have the cookie cutter insurance plan. Everyone gets the same treatment if an accident happens. I get it. Wow. Like, I hope they don't hate me or hate my idea, or I hope JP doesn't get upset, or Bromik likes me, or I hope Charlie doesn't swear at the children. Nah. I mean, I just... You know, I try to make it interactive and just, you know, let y'all hang out and stuff. $1 to all people in case of an accident. My pork's got money. No, yeah, I know what you mean. The AT&T worry-free guarantee, baby. We'll go back and deal with that. Alright, water's back in place, and look at that. We can really build that entrance out. Yeah, that looks better. Alright, let's start doing... Are you making the new river for the boat transport ride? No, but I do think I'm gonna put one of those somewhere. I just haven't really figured out exactly where. See, one thought. And I can actually just grab the blueprint and visualize it. Dear Lord of Mercy, it would work. It would be kind of tricky. You really have to have all the terrain, like, planned out and finalized in that regard. So if we did a really tall mountain here, we'd actually have to pull the water back up. Look at that! It's starting to form again. There we go. So from the entrance, something like that, where you'd walk in and you'd see that beautiful. Now, my thought of possibly doing the surf coaster up front would be... This is the original, not the Bromec version, but basically that would be here. You'd still have a little room to the front, but you could walk from the very front of the park out to the surf coaster right there. Otherwise, if we rotate it, it would be placed basically kind of back here, near the train station, and that's how that would look. So you'd have that coaster plus the wing coaster in the background. So those are really the two options. Can we get a special guest that's an engineer of boat transportation rides on this show? If you can find one, then maybe we could. I'm sending emails out now. Yeah, maybe we could tunnel part of the Hyper Coaster here. Is this a mountain or a volcano? It's really designed just to be a mountain. Will there be waterfall effects? There could be. That's not actually all that tall. Getting Typhoon Lagoon vibes, yeah, maybe a little bit, yeah. I've actually been thinking a little bit about that as well. That's a little more like it. You look, those are still taller, but that's also in a raised corner in the back. That's a pretty tall summit. Water back in here. Excuse me. Won't let me put the water back there. Alright, what's going on? There we go. Oh, that one poor person is still stuck. Why is that? That's weird. We load back in. Or not. I don't know what's up with that. Perfect place for that new toy structure is the park's mascot. JK, that would not really, that would probably ruin it. Yeah. It's all good. She's just still standing kind of stuck on air. It's kind of... Probably a save... Oh, no, there she goes. Nope! It just clipped. Hey, it may work. And more therapy. Oh my goodness, look at that. This line is backed all the way up. Queue time of 1 minute? Yeah, right. Is there an attendant? Yeah, there is. Hold on a second. Do you all see this? Boy, that's a safety hazard. No, these people are not happy. Alright, hold on. Let me... Ooh, do I want to save over that? We're doing this. We're going to save that as a separate one, just in case. Main menu. Let's try. I'm only going to be on a couple more minutes, but... Didn't know that was a... No! What in the world? It just crashed my game again. That might be a sign to just call it quits and start over. But I'm going to look into that. I mean, we got the coasters and stuff, so I might just lay them out kind of, you know. Alright. Let's try this again. Hopefully it don't crash. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Alright. Well, that one remaining guest is not there, so that was a bug that's been fixed. Well, let's see what's going on with this. Why is this backed up? Oh no, now it's running. That is a jam-packed line, though. I've never seen the line for this coaster this long. The gods hate what you've done, right? It's a 7-minute wait. I mean, this has very high capacity, so... Alright, we can kind of focus on redoing the entrance a bit, maybe. I don't know. The lady floating was a witch. So we could put the surf coaster up here, or we could... like, back here or something like that. Definitely a thinner crowd in the park now. I don't know why he's just like stuck. Kind of weird. Might do something else with the hyper coaster. Try to get it to fit in a different area. This is going to be really cool though when we get that open. Maybe your PC is underpowered for these parks. Maybe try capping your guest counts. Not sure your PC specs. I've got a pretty powerful computer. It's a 9800X3D, and I've got the 9070 XT and 64 gigs of RAM. So this can handle pretty much everything. I can turn the guest count down. I'm gonna have to do some stuff. The other thing I could do is just shut the park down entirely and just start going to town on building and opening things, but I don't know. It's almost 10:30. I've been going for almost 3 hours, so I'm probably going to end up calling it a night here, getting a few things done. So, man, it just looks way different from when we started today. Just radically different. First, we just got started with this little train station, and then we went and totally gung-ho. Demolition Derby big time. It'll be nice to get this stuff set up, though. So... I'm not planning on being on tomorrow, just because I'm going to be getting home late. Wednesdays definitely a possibility. But then absolutely Thursday, I'm going to try to stream at my normal time, about 6:30 or 7. I got on a little bit late today because I was doing some other stuff, getting some piano practice in and everything. But yeah, so I think this is a good point to leave it. I appreciate you all hanging out, and so yeah, we'll pick back up in a couple days. So that's probably enough to run what you currently have. Hopefully Update 8 has stability crash fixes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping that as well. Volcano. Possibly. I wasn't planning on it at first, but I did think about the possibility of doing a volcano. I'm just starting to think I may need to free up some room around the center of the park, so we may have to relocate this. But yep. Alright, so yeah, Wednesday is a possibility. I may spend some time just, like, setting some stuff up, though. So, I don't know, but almost definitely will not be on tomorrow. Wednesday's a possibility, but certainly Thursday. Alright, y'all, that's gonna do it for me tonight. I really appreciate y'all hanging out, and hope you have a great rest of the night or day, wherever you are. And we'll pick back up later in the week, and as always, until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see ya.